that the fight is over.
The COVID-19 pandemic has had a huge impact on education. This global crisis gave rise to the so-called new normal setup that reshaped and reimagined the sphere of education, having technology as the engine and media as a driving vehicle in pursuing new normal education. This is me, a senior high school student, one of the thousands who experiences being drawn to the sphere of new normal. It has been particularly difficult for us to adapt and cope up. Fortunately, there is something that could make education possible amidst the exceptional situation: the media and technology. The use of media in new normal education provides us as students with the ability to get useful information and knowledge that is relevant to our studies. It also provides us feasible means of getting examples, ideas, and demonstrations that are relevantly helpful to our lifelong learnings. Media platforms serve as channel in communication between the teacher and learners, making announcements, providing instructions, and engaging students with online discussions to sustain interactions.
Well, if it is curvy, information would be, there will be delay of information.
The world turns upside down, forcing us to change our ways, forcing us to be by ourselves, because we got nowhere to be. In times of stressful moments, through media and technology, we can access music as therapy amidst a stressful learning environment. Because music enables us to find our inner peace, distress ourselves, and refresh our minds to better pursue studies. The media and technology guide students to pursue self-paced learning geared with interdependence, discipline, and responsibility amidst the exceptional situation to acquire successful learning.
But we always saw it through.
Ensuring quality and effective education, bridging the gaps and breaking barriers towards lifelong learning, bringing communities together in achieving the goal of education. Suyo National High School continues to be an active agent in transforming the lives of every young learner, making its dream into reality and building a stronger foundation towards higher education, instilling the culture of morality, developing a socially responsive individual, and living up to the values of commitment, dedication, integrity, stewardship, leadership, and excellence. This year, Suyo National High School proudly presents Graduation 2021.
This year's graduation is in line with the theme, Kalidad ng Edukasyon lalong patatagin sa gitna ng pandemya, strengthening the quality of education amid the COVID-19 pandemic.
Today, we will witness the culmination of all the hardships and sacrifices dedicated by everyone. So let's start this by watching the processional, followed by the singing of the Philippine National Anthem, the doxology, the regional march, and the provincial hymn.
Ladies and gentlemen, the processional. Starting with the faculty and staff of Suyo National High School. Mrs. Lani Rose M. Demandante, School Principal 1. Mr. Oscar R. Gamiao Jr., Head Teacher 3. Mr. Edgar A. Dakiwag, Master Teacher 1. Mrs. Charita V. Agamata, Teacher 3. Mrs. Sherilyn Lisa P. Domingo, Teacher 3. Mrs. Jonalyn T. Ganotisi, Teacher 3. Miss Joanne M. Talon, Teacher 3. Mrs. Lay Michelle A. Fiesta, Teacher 3. Mrs. Elizabeth T. Martin, Teacher 2. Mr. Alan A. Agnew, Teacher 2. Miss Crystal Isa B. Barron, Teacher 2. Mrs. Eunice A. Milyare, Teacher 2. Mr. Rex C. Seradon, Teacher 1. Mrs. Jinky R. Acosta, Teacher 1. Mrs. Arceli M. Rambak, Teacher 1. Miss Lovely Angelique S. Barba, Teacher 1. Mr. Jericho V. Jaramillo, Master Teacher 1. Mrs. Alejandrina P. Piano, Master Teacher 1. Mrs. Rosalie A. Dudulao, Teacher 2. Mrs. Evina Joy T. Magno, Teacher 2. Mrs. J.B. A. Ramos, Teacher 1. Miss Lay Eden M. Hidalgo, Administrative Assistant 2. Mr. Jimuel F. Uco, Security Personnel. May we now welcome the graduates. Starting with the General Academic Strand class. Antonio Michael Retutal, parents, Mr. and Mrs. Flor Antonio. Aragon Gerald Apostol, parents, Mr. and Mrs. Enrile Aragon. Basilio Ranuel Tanon, parents, Mr. and Mrs. Wilson Basilio. Domingo John David, parents, Mr. and Mrs. Roel Nacubo. Manera Marwin Canimo, parents, Mr. and Mrs. Felipe Manera. Mata John Paul Abrasado, parents, Mr. and Mrs. Policarpio Mata. Pabustan Christian Angelo Baisa, parents, Mr. and Mrs. Edison Pabustan. Pasqua Charles Darwin Gahede, parents, Mr. and Mrs. Rogen Pasqua. Pasqua Mark Mionlan Colobong, parents, Mr. and Mrs. Oliver Pasqua. Talon Jonal Raspado, parents, Mr. and Mrs. Emerito Talon. Tamani Hadley Kian, parents, Mr. and Mrs. Wendell Pasqua. Villator Mark Christian Pasilabban, parents, Mr. and Mrs. Warlito Villator. Banyares Irish Tolentino, parents, Mr. and Mrs. Feliciano Banyares. Erice Maricar Gampong, parent, Mrs. Marceline Gampong. Foronda Marilis Pilos, parents, Mr. and Mrs. Jomar Foronda. Gali Lysel Cordero, parent, Mr. Joel Gali. Hario Rojimi Mariano, parents, Mr. and Mrs. Samuel Hariol. Lagua Katrina May Antonio, parents, Mr. and Mrs. Juan Agoto Lagua. Marcelino Michelle Tolentino, parents, Mr. and Mrs. Jofilo Marcelino. Pilos Mary Ann Talon, parents, Mr. and Mrs. Brian Pilos. Portela Brittany Kimuyog, parents, Mr. and Mrs. Rainier Portela. Let us welcome the Technical, Vocational, and Livelihood Strand class. Andam John Brian Talon, parents Mr. and Mrs. Sharon Andam. Apresio Mark Angelo, parents Mr. and Mrs. Sunnyboy Apresio. Baldugo Joshua Balesteros, parents Mr. and Mrs. Rogelio Baldugo. Gregorio Dino Gadi, parents Mr. and Mrs. Dante Gregorio. Calano Joshua Jean Mabini, parents Mr. and Mrs. Jobert B. Calano. Manzanillo Billy J. Gali, parents Mr. and Mrs. Henor Manzanillo. Pasqua Christian J. Capine, parents Mr. and Mrs. Johnny P. Pasqua. Pasqua Cyrus Mati Lubo, parents Mr. and Mrs. Sherwin Pasqua. Polintang Shari J. Capo, parents Mr. and Mrs. Charles Polintang. Kimson Tristan Jo Marie Manzanillo, parents Mr. and Mrs. Joseph Kimson. Aguinaldo Diana Velasco, parents Mr. and Mrs. Ruben Ano Aguinaldo. Balatis Ma Christine Danao, parents Mr. and Mrs. Rogelio Balatis. Baptista Apple Joy, parent Miss Crescent A. Baptista. Fernando Farah Michelle Gia, parents Mr. and Mrs. Jofilo C. Fernando. Rubes Rolly Rose Peralta, parents Mr. and Mrs. Rolly C. Rubes. And Villar Reynalyn Balisacan, parents Mr. and Mrs. Ramon Villar.
Tumayo po tayong lahat, ilagay ang kanang kamay sa ating dibdib at sabay-sabay nating awitin ang pambansang awit ng Pilipinas.
Bayang magiliw, perlas ng silanganan, alab ng puso, sa dibdib mo'y buhay. Lupang hinirang, tuyang ka ng magiting, sa manlulupi, di ka pasisiil, sa dagat at bundok, sa simoy at sa langit mong bughaw. May diragang tula at awit sa paglayang minamahal, ang kisap ng watawat mo'y tagumpay na nagniningning, ang bituin at araw niya kailan pa may di magdidilim. Lupa ng araw ng luwalhati pagsinta, buhay langit sa piling mo. Aming ligaya na pag may mga api, ang mamatay ng dahil sa'yo.
Dakilang may likha sa kalingat pang-unawa, mangyari ang iyong diwa sa langit at sa lupa. Bigyan mo ng sapat ang lahat sa araw-araw, turo ang magparaya gaya ng iyong gawa. Iadyan niyo kami sa pagmamataas upang maiwaksi ang lupit at dahan.
kakalikasan, kabuhayan, kakanyahan,
and the rivers, to the great and winding trails, to the shores where breezes linger. That's the place I love so well. It's the home of men who loved her, men who died to keep us free, men who told no bad the weather, that anyone will never be. Region 1, oh Region 1, there's no better place I see. Region 1, oh Region 1, dearest home by far to me. From her care I learn my lessons, in her veils I work and play. She has kept me safe and happy as I live on day by day. Though to other lands I wander, as I search for wealth and fame, in my heart I will remember Region 1, beloved name. Region 1, oh Region 1, there's no better place I see. Region 1, oh Region 1, dearest of my far to me. Other lands I wander, as I search for wealth and fame. In my heart I will remember Region 1, beloved name. Region 1! pamilya. No one can untone your luna. Ricarte agripay que nabla. En la tumapay naman, busquen escola. Anak mo at malalatakan. Lagat mo, kami waragawa. Iyamin at ang malubungan. Ilong sorte, tampo pagyanan. Ikat ang kailupuan. Ilong sorte, tampo pagyanan. Ikat ang kailupuan.
May we now listen to the welcome address of Mark Christian P. Villator with high honors.
To everyone watching from the comfort of their homes, more especially my fellow graduates, proud parents, and hard-working teachers, it is a privilege for me to welcome each and every one of you to this school year's virtual graduation. Before anything else, I would like to share to you my greatest story and lesson that I have obtained over the past 6 years. The moment I entered high school, it's been a dream for me to be part of the campus journalism. Yet during that 7th grade, I failed because of lack of self-confidence. During my 8th grade, I attempted again to join, and someone asked me to write an article about a certain issue, and so I did. I poured out my best on producing my article. Unfortunately, my article did not make it, and so am I. This 2-in-a-row failure of joining the campus journalism team of the school have weakened my spirit and hope to have another try. So, I opted not to try again for the 2 remaining years of my junior high school. But when I was on the 11th grade, my teacher, Sir Jericho Jaramillo, pushed me to enter Campus Journalism Guild in our school. At first, I was hesitant, but then I realized that he is one of the school paper advisors of the school, so there is a big possibility that this time I am going to make it. So I tried. Thank God, I finally succeeded. It seems like heaven have heard my desire. For being a first-timer, I was fortunate enough to win first place in editorial writing and column writing competitions during the DSPC, and that paved my way to the regionals. Why am I sharing you this? It is because I want also everyone to realize that no matter how hard you think it is to achieve your dreams, always remember that God has always a better plan for you. This might not be your time, but we are not sure of what tomorrow could bring. As they say, the bigger the pullback, the greater the comeback. It is a wonderful achievement for each of us to have made it here today. And I am very proud to share this moment with you all. But we have not made it here on our own efforts alone. On behalf of the class of 2021, I would like to take this moment to acknowledge those who have helped us and carved our way to this momentous day. I would like to congratulate the class of 2021. I know that this is not our ideal way of ending this journey, but remember that it is not just about today, but it is about the whole 6 years that we have been together. I want to take this opportunity to thank those who have laid their hands to me, especially during the times that I need most. And I'd like to thank my family, especially my parents, for providing and working hard to give us a good education. I also like to thank my friends with all the memories and pieces of advice. Teachers patiently pushing us to be the best version of ourselves, to all the faculty and staff of Suyo National High School. Above all, thank God for all the blessings and love. May I also like to take this opportunity to acknowledge and congratulate my friends since 2007. My elementary and high school friends for always being there for me and treasuring the real essence of our friendships. For this, I would like to welcome everyone and enjoy your virtual participation on the second virtual graduation of Suyo National High School, Senior High School Class 2021. Welcome, welcome, and mabuhay!
For the presentation of graduates, may we now listen to Mrs. Lana Rose M. Demandante, School Principal 1 of Suyo National High School.
Dr. Joanne A. Corpus, Schools Division Superintendent, Madam, in my capacity as the School Principal of Suyo National High School, I have the honor to present to you the 37 candidates for graduation. 21 are under the General Academic Strand, and 16 are under the Technical, Vocational, and Livelihood Education. I certify that they satisfactorily completed all the requirements for senior high school of the K-12 basic education curriculum. I therefore petition for the confirmation of their graduation with all the rights, honors, and privileges, as well as the duties and responsibilities thereunto appertain.
For the acceptance and confirmation of graduates, may we now have Dr. John A. Corpus, CESO 5, Schools Division Superintendent of Schools Division of Ilocos Norte.
By the authority vested in me by the Secretary of Education as the Schools Division Superintendent of the Schools Division of Ilocos Norte, and acting on the certification that you have successfully completed all the requirements of the K-12 curriculum, and upon the strong recommendation and petition of your school head for the confirmation of your graduation and or completion, I, Joanne A. Corpus, the Schools Division Superintendent of the Schools Division of Ilocos Norte, now confirm you graduates and or completers for the school year 2020-2021 with all the rights, honors, privileges, as well as duties and obligations thereto appertaining. Starting today, you are now eligible for admission to the next level of education. Congratulations and good luck.
Let us now proceed to the highlights of this event, and this is the awarding of graduates with honors. Starting with the General Academic Strand class. Pasqua Charles Darwin Gahete with high honors. Villator Mark Christian Basilaban with high honors. Antonio Michael Retutal with honors. Banyares Irish Tolentino with honors. Basilio Ranuel Talon with honors. Foronda Marilis Pilos with honors. Gali Lysel Cordero with honors. Halio Rogini Mariano with honors. Lagua Katrina May Antonio with honors. Portela Brittany Kumuyog with honors. For Technical, Vocational, and Livelihood Strand, Rubex Rolly Rose Peralta with honors. Now let us proceed to the distribution of diplomas to the graduates. General Academic Strand class. Antonio Michael Retutal. Aragon Gerald Apostol, Basilio Ranuel Talon, Domingo John David, Manera Marvin Canimo, Mata John Paul Abrasado, Pabustan Christian Angelo Baisa, Pasqua Charles Darwin Gahete, Pasqua Mark Mionlan Colobong, Talon Jonah Raspado, Tamani Hadley Kian, Villator Mark Christian Pasilapban, Banyares Irish Tolentino, Erice Marcar Gampong, Foronda Marilis Pilos, Gali Lysel Cordero, Hario Rogini Mariano, Lagua Katrina May Antonio, Marcelino Michelle Tolentino, Pilos Mary Ann Talon, and Portela Brittany Kimuyog. Advisor, Mrs. Evina Joy T. Magno. For the Technical, Vocational, and Livelihood strand, here are your graduates. Adam John Brian Talon, Aprecio Mark Angelo, Baldugo Joshua Balesteros, Gregorio Daniel Gali, Calano Joshua Jean Mabini, Manzanillo Billy Jake Gali, Pasqua Christian J. Kapinig, Pasqua Cyrus Mafi Lubo, Polintang Chari J. Kapo, Kimson Kristan Jomari Manzanillo, Aguinaldo Daina Velasco, Balais Ma Christine Danao, Baptista Apple Joy, Fernando Farah Michelle Gia, Rubes Ronnie Rose Peralta, and Villar Regnalyn Balisacan. Mrs. J.B.A. Ramos, Advisor. May we now listen to the Academic Excellence Address of Charles Darwin G. Pasqua with high honors.
Achieving one's dream is like planting. You need to start from knowing your purpose, why you need to plant. Then make a best choice what to plant and where to plant. And eventually, start digging the very soil of the earth where the plant will take its roots. Just like how you determine your purpose in life, how you make choice, and how you dig your inner core to where that dream will come from. Next, you need to water the plant and provide enough nutrients for it to grow. And a dream must be nurtured and must be exerted with love, effort, and sacrifices for it to work. Lastly, you need to shield the plant from insects and other things that may hamper its growth. Fulfilling a dream is never that easy, for challenges come along the way, one after another. It seems like a never-ending battle. That is why perseverance, patience, and faith should be one's weapon along the way. My dream of finishing my secondary education all started with determining my purpose. That purpose is to have this stage of my education be the ground to where my bigger goal in life will take its foundation. Then after I've determined my purpose, I made choice to choose finishing my high school, though I know it would be hard for me to take responsibility for this choice.
I was not fortunate enough to be born in a well-off family. Every day is a challenge for us, especially financially. The 4 long years of junior high school is quite an enjoyable stage for a dream to begin sprouting. Enjoyable yet a complete financial deluge to my family, especially to my parents since they do not have stable jobs to earn money for our daily expenses. After all, there are 3 of us schooling. My mother at that time is an elementary school vendor, while my father is a mere farmer. It is a humble way of living, yet the money that they earn is not enough. That is why there are instances where we need to skip from going to school to somehow help our parents and to ease the burden. But I remember my mother always tells me, "An musaysayangan ti aldaw ay kagbasa ket sikat ti pangnamnaman." And my father would drive me to school while my siblings will be the one to skip from their classes. It is a tough and unexplainable feeling and experience just to set my feet off the school just to pursue my studies. When I am in junior high, I am that student who was so eager to go to school even though my allowance is far from enough. I was that student that was eager to go to school even though my uniform and my shoes already worn out. I was that student who was so eager to go to school to the point yet so unfair for siblings, for they have to sacrifice a day from schooling just for me. It's really hard to fulfill a dream and to pursue your purpose for that dream, especially if you do not have all the time, the resources, and the luck. If you really want to, it takes a lot of efforts, sacrifices, and everything. As they say, we cannot always count on being born great or having greatness thrust upon us. But always remember that the opportunity to achieve greatness is within our grasp. In the day that my junior high school journey reached its peak, I realized that day emphasized how the dream have grew and developed within the care of this learning institution within 4 years. It really signified all my collective efforts and all my family's sacrifices as I had the opportunity to finish that stage of my education. As I have remembered in my speech, I then said, junior high school marked an end, but also signified a new beginning as we now reform our dreams as we enter the senior high school. Fast forward to senior high school, the stage where I have to flourish the purpose I've started and the dream I am going to fulfill. The stage where I was able to create my motto saying, whatever form it takes, I'm game. The time I stepped on the ladder of senior high school, my mother decided to go abroad for the hope of better job and earn enough money for our family and for our growing educational expenses. It's still never that easy to begin a new journey without that someone who knows what's best for you and who used to be by your side every time you need her. But that did not affect my purpose in life. It might be true that it handed me a dose of pains, but I considered it much more of an inspiration for me to exert more for that purpose and for that dream. And here comes academic 2020-2021. It is without a doubt that this academic year is unlike anything we have experienced before. This inevitable global outbreak has thrown our usual activities into disarray. Everyone was severely affected, death cases and sufferings became uncontrollable, schools shut down, livelihoods were closed, and communities locked down. And as an incoming grade 12 student at that time, I was certain that this was not how we had expected our last year to be, but it was definitely an experience and a memory that we will never forget. Although it is sad to think about how many lasts we missed out on, such as our last mile exercise after flag ceremonies, our last competition defeats and victories, our last socialization night, our last scouting, our last experience in a guidance office, and our last day together in a four-cornered classroom. But what's more saddening are the last times we should have but took for granted because we thought we'll experience more. Chit-chats and laughter with friends, arguments with classmates, and discussions and pieces of advice from teachers that speak to and from their hearts. Even so, we did not let these losses dissuade us from excitedly embracing the so-called new normal setup of education. New normal education forced us to change our ways, to be by ourselves and continue to learn at our own pace and environment. We continued, we strived, we struggled, and we adapted. This COVID-19 situation should have been a huge threat that may hamper the growth of my growing dream. But because of love, compassion, and resiliency from the inside that shows it, I was able to continue fulfilling it despite the current predicament. Just like planned, it is imperative for you to look over what you think is best for it. If you are going to surround it with fence as guard, be it. If you are going to remove weeds and parasites that environ the plant, as long as it will be beneficial, be it. And that's what I also realized in real life. In fulfilling your dream, it is not bad to remove toxic people around you and those who you think will hinder and impact your dream pessimistically. Otherwise, surround yourself with positive people who will support you and help you in achieving your dream. And despite of the inevitable and unusual year we've all experienced, we can befittingly say that we made it to the finish line. It is to be revered that this day signifies the collective efforts that we all had during the 6 long happy years of high school. Now, I have fulfilled my purpose, and it's about time to reap the fruit of that dream I have planted. And if there's one thing I've learned from this pandemic, it's that it's not bad to do your best in pursuing of what you think is best and makes you happy. You just have to trust yourself that you can do it and you can make it. Just like a quote in a comic, it says, compromise where you can. Where you can't, don't. Even if everyone is telling you that something wrong is something right. Even if the whole world is telling you to move, it is your duty to plant yourself like a tree. Look them in the eye and say, no, you move. It is free to dream and all our dreams are valid. We may be defeated sometimes or repeatedly, but it's just alright because that's the purpose of life. To be defeated by greater and greater things, to know the value of not giving up. Doing your best means doing it for a reason, be it for yourself, for your family, and for your happiness. And now, being at the top of the pile of my accomplishments, it felt euphoric thinking that I did all whatever it takes to be there. But along the way of doing our best in pursuit of fulfilling a dream, it should not be done for a single purpose of a goal's sake at the expense of relationship with others. We must still not forget the value of relationships. Relationship with peers, with colleagues, with family, and of course with God. In seek of success and happiness, and in fulfilling a dream, relationship is a foundation of a meaningful and truly purposeful outcome. Relationships nurture the growth of a growing dream. The important people that surrounds you thus a big role in you and on the dream that you're going to fulfill. That is why it is also important to sincerely express our thanks to those relationships with people who became a part of our life and who influenced the growth of a dream within 6 years and until now that we finally achieved it. With this, on behalf of the graduating class of 2021, we would like to express our sincere gratitude to Suyo National High School for being our home for 6 years. It is an incredible 6-year run and it was creatively satisfying. We will forever be grateful and proud as Suyo National High School graduates.
May we now listen to the inspirational message from Dr. Joan A. Carpus, Sesofy, the Schools Division Superintendent, the Schools Division of Ilocos Norte.
Respected local government officials, DepEd, Division, schools officials, Barangay and Parent Teachers Association officials, school heads, teachers, parents, stakeholders, learners, graduates and completers, guests, friends, ladies and gentlemen, a pleasant day to one and all. My warmest congratulations to all the members of Batch 2021. This school year will always be considered as the most challenging period in the history of the Department of Education. The COVID-19 pandemic has brought challenges in all the sectors around the world, and the field of education is no exemption. In order to provide and sustain our clarion call of promoting quality, relevant, and liberating education, despite all the adversities that we currently face, we have devised multiple ways so that learning still continues. We have experienced grueling transitions and birth pains, but we never surrendered because we are one team with one common dream. At first, the learning modalities that we have employed in the new normal have brought despair and distraction. But we have overcome these because of your dedication and determination. I feel delighted to congratulate you on this pivotal facet of your lives. After several months of enduring the struggles brought about by the global crisis in the educative process, you are now ready to ignite the torch of excellence, which you have earned through your incomparable patience and perseverance. Your teachers have provided you with the most fitting kind of instruction, which you need as you continue your quest for the fulfillment of your dreams. I congratulate them for serving as game changers in the new education landscape. From ordinary facilitators inside your classrooms They eagerly transformed themselves as module writers, online teachers, teacher broadcasters, and radio announcers to cater to your needs and interests while you are learning at home. I believe that every parent wants to invest the future of his or her children to the best school he or she knows. As such, my gratitude is offered to them because they have entrusted you, your early education, to the Schools Division of Ilocos Norte. Our battle against COVID-19 became easier because they are always there to serve as your shield, shelter, and strength. My sincerest appreciation is also given to the provincial government of Ilocos Norte and all the benevolent stakeholders for their incomparable support to the programs, projects, and activities of the Schools Division. The strong partnerships and linkages that they have built with us serve as our instruments in combating the challenges caused by the pandemic. At this important milestone of your lives, please be reminded that the greatest rewards that you have are the values that you have obtained from the tales of trials that have been through during the school year. Make these as sources of inspiration for you to do more and be more. I pray that the Lord will forever guide you as you step to the next rung of the educational ladder. Always take the positive path, and He will crown you with success that you truly deserve. To all of you, our dear graduates and our completers, good luck in your new journey. Happy graduation, and God bless you.
May we also listen to the message from the Regional Director, Honorable Tolentino G. Aquino, Director 3, Officer in Charge, Office of the Regional Director, DepEd Region 1.
It is with great pleasure and admiration that I convey my best wishes and profound felicitations to all the graduates, completers, and academic awardees of the school year 2020-2021. The efforts you have exerted to accomplish your academic tasks in the difficult times are something worthy of praises. Graduation and moving up ceremonies are the much-awaited events in the life of every learner as they represent the golden times of reaching higher education and achieving dreams and aspirations. Definitely, the road you have taken is rough, but all the struggles are worth considering as they are the first few steps that will define your future success. Indeed, finishing this challenging school year during these trying times of COVID-19 pandemic is remarkable since it has been inevitable to face and accept the new normal landscape of education. It has been a school year of extraordinary hard work, dedication, and passion for all school leaders, teachers, learners, and parents in dealing and coping with chosen learning delivery modality to meet the most essential educational requirements. While it is admittedly difficult, you may take it positively as you have been given the opportunity to adapt to difficulties that have strengthened your innate potentials. Likewise, the incessant motivation and support of parents towards the seemingly thorny road to success caused by the global health crisis, as well as the strict obedience to various health and safety protocols, have enormously pitched in to this moment of your graduation and completion. My dear graduates, completers, and awardees, you have just marked another significant milestone in your continued quest for excellence and successful future. Certainly, more challenges will still come your way. However, to hurdle this, you should stay focused and always remember that your dreams are within reach when you are determined and committed to realize them. My beloved parents, community officials, and other stakeholders, accept our heartfelt gratitude for the victory we have achieved today. Thank you for being an effective and efficient partners of the Department of Education in the implementation of distance learning. Your untiring support is a deeper reflection of the unconditional love you have bestowed to the learners through the years. Undoubtedly, you have greatly taken part in realizing the goals and objectives of DepEd's pivot to quality education under the Sulong Educalidad program. Our sincere commendations to all our DepEd officials, the school administrators, faculty members, and non-teaching staff for providing the highest degree of service para sa bata, para sa bayan. Finally, with this happy celebration of your graduation and completion, it is with confidence to say that you have given our team for this year, strengthening the quality of education amid the COVID-19 pandemic, a very special meaning. Congratulations and have a wonderful graduation day and moving up ceremonies.
May we also listen to the message from the Secretary of Education, Honorable Leonor Mactolis Briones, Secretary, Department of Education.
Good day to each and everyone who is attending virtually present at this time of our graduation ceremonies for our beloved and very precious graduates for the school year which ends at this time. First of all, I'd like to greet the parents and family members without whose sacrifices, whose reminders, and whose participation in the learning process for our graduates have resulted in this culmination program. This year, your role has changed drastically, where we've always believed that the matter of educating our children rests nearly exclusively on our teachers and our staff. This time, you parents, you family members, you who are in the households of our learners have expanded your role and contributed to this wonderful day, wherein finally, our learners are graduating in this culmination exercise. So congratulations, because this year has not been very easy, has not been a picnic for our teachers, for our family members, as well, especially the parents, mothers, fathers, sisters, brothers, and all who have contributed to the achievement of our learners at this time. So, maraming salamat at congratulations, parents and family members. Mas malaki ang role ninyo at this time compared to earlier graduation exercises. Secondly, I would also like to greet our teachers, without whose very careful review and careful supervision of the work of our pupils and our learners, this event would not be taking place at all. And so thank you, teachers. Your role has also expanded in addition to seeing to it that the modules are faithfully followed, the assignments are correctly implemented, and the learners are truly learning. And you have had to deal with new ways of assessing the performance also of the learners. So congratulations, teachers, for enduring, for your patience, for your love for our learners, and your willingness to engage in a way and methods of teaching which are different from those which are used to. Assessment must have been especially difficult for you, especially since you were not able to see most of the time our students in face-to-face meetings, and most of the meetings, of course, were virtual. We'd also like to thank the local government units for their interest, for their cooperation, and for their continuing contributions to the needs of education, even as our children do not go to school. Your donations of material as well as financial resources at this time are most welcome, and your advice has been taken seriously not only by our teachers, by our school officials, but also by our officials in the Department of Education. We continually talk with local government units, especially in times of disaster, in times of great need for classrooms, for space, and for responses to unforeseen emergencies. Thank you, local government units. But of course, most of the congratulatory greetings fall on the deserving graduate. Each and every one of you is truly special. You are different from the other graduates who have passed through the portals of your school. You went to school practically without seeing your teachers, if at all. You went to school with your parents, your mothers and your fathers hovering over your shoulders and seeing to it that you are able to complete your assignments. You are completing your studies at a time when examinations and assessments are different. You are culminating these long months of hard work at this time, even as you have to do family chores, even as you are distracted, and even as your world has turned upside down, and it seems and it appears as if we don't know what the future holds and what will happen next. But you have persevered, and now you are ready to graduate, and therefore you deserve each and every bit of congratulations from us in the Department of Education, from your parents and family members, your teachers, from the officials in local government, as well as in the parent teachers associations. You deserve each and every single congratulatory pat on your back, each hug, virtually of course, and each greeting which I am sure you are also receiving virtually. I don't know if you will remember this event many, many years from now. I have tried to recall myself who our graduation speaker was when I finished high school and when I finished my college studies. All I remember is that the graduation speaker was someone important, someone who was invited because that someone is supposed to give a message. What was more important to us graduates at that time was the excitement of the celebrations, the happiness and the joy of our parents, the sadness of parting from our classmates and from our teachers, and the enjoyment of all the graduation events that usually take place come commencement day. When I was a college student, we had a series of events which were designed to embed in our minds, which were designed to help us remember and not forget our days in college. We would spend one whole day going around the campus, visiting the classrooms, saying goodbye to our teachers, and sharing memories. We would have bonfires to say goodbye to each other. We had baccalaureate services where we committed ourselves to God and we prayed for guidance when we go out into the world. So many celebrations, and the speaker, of course, is the least important and easily forgotten component of the graduation exercise. Nonetheless, I will exert all efforts to share with you what I see are things or issues which a graduate should remember and recall. I have said that you are very special. You are very different. You are pioneering. There has been no other class like your class. There has been no other graduate like you as a graduating student, because you are the very first graduate of the blended learning response to education in the Philippines. And so you ask yourself, what awaits you in the world outside? You can either work, because the kind of curriculum you survive and underwent as a student will enable you to go to work if you wish to go to work. Some of you will proceed to further studies, and this would be a wonderful thing because there are many opportunities for further expanding your knowledge, for further answering and looking for explanations of issues, events that make you curious, especially in science, in technology, and also in the arts. So you can work, you can go to further studies, and perhaps some of you will settle down, hopefully not too soon, so you can pursue what you really want to do. So today, this is why we call this exercise a commencement exercise. It's not the end of our studies. It's not the end of all our efforts with blended learning, with modules, with floods, with earthquakes, and of course with COVID. It's a commencement of doors opening to you, More doors will be opened because you are a graduate. You can work, you can proceed for further studies, you can help your parents, and you can perhaps look for opportunities to do what you have always wanted to do, whether at work, whether at advanced studies, whether at learning more in science and technology, in mathematics, and in the arts. All of these opportunities are available to you. More doors are being opened. I hope you will select the door which arouses your curiosity, the door which will help you know more about this world, and the door which will allow you to contribute to the development of our country and contribute whatever we can to solve our problems and our challenges. Congratulations once more to each and every one of you. Congratulations to you, parents and family members. Congratulations to you, teachers. When I was chair of the board of Silliman University, each time we had graduation ceremonies, during the baccalaureate and during commencement itself, I would cry. I would cry because we are sending out into the world a new batch of graduates, and we want to be sure that what is awaiting them is appropriate. We want to be sure that they are ready for what awaits them when they select which door to open. And so, we tell you, go out to the world, do whatever you want to do. God be with you, and be assured that all of us love each and every one of you. Congratulations.
Fasten your seatbelts, we'll take off this ride. I'll do it with you. Flap your wings into the dark, misty sky. I'll do it with you. Conquer the clouds that hold heavy rain. I'll do it with you. Each other up, yeah. We shall rise above the ashes, and I know that we'll arrive together, 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 together. Knowing that we can't break, no dream that we can chase, no love that we can face. Together we fly. No love that we can face. Together we fly. I'm armed, unafraid, because you clear up my sky. I'll be here with you.
To finally conclude this celebration, may we now listen to the closing remarks of Lysel Sigali with honors.
School year 2020-2021 has been a challenging year for everyone because of the existence of COVID-19, which causes the several changes to the educational system and to the community in general. Thus, facing the challenges fostered by this pandemic, the entire community must work together to somehow make all things work just like the old normal. The spirit of unity, camaraderie, and active involvement has been evident since the start of the pandemic. The school, parents, local officials, and other stakeholders work as one in bringing education to every learners who were pursuing their studies at the comfort of their homes. With this, I would like to acknowledge all the efforts, sacrifices, and the time spent by all the teachers, parents, local officials, especially the barangay chairman and their tanods and kagawads, and other stakeholders in making school year 2020-2021 fruitful and productive, as well as safe for all of us learners. No material thing can suffice the goodness that you've done. That is why, on behalf of all the learners of Suyo National High School, we express our appreciation and sincerest gratitude to all of you. May God bless us all everyone.